Hello guys, the TV Grinder here, and I am here with...
Hi, it's me again, Trishula Tuvalu Television Man, aka Mike Thomas, aka I still can't win another prize card.
Alright, what'd you play and what'd you play?
Big surprise, I played the Dragon deck. Weird, right? Like, one trick lifestyle stays real. But I played a pretty similar list to my top 8 list from a couple weeks ago. Made a few changes, and deck performed really, really well for me. My losses were all completely out of my control. One of them, Flunder player hit me with Mistaken Arrest, which was very unexpected, to say the least. And my hand just simply didn't play through it. If you haven't already seen the tweets or anything, I was a charity this weekend. I lost after game 2, and we were supposed to go to game 3. But I saw the match slip, and I signed the match slip that I lost the match. And then after my opponent took the match slip up, I realized that we'd only been through 2 games. Felt pretty stupid about that, but I think I earned myself some karma, some good karma, because I didn't lose again for the rest of the run, and, you know, until top 64, so...
Alright, bet. You want to do any shout-outs before we hop into the list?
Yeah, absolutely. Huge shout-outs, of course, to Darren, Landon, who I always build my decks with. Shout-outs to Will. I was up with Will Candia. He didn't top, but we were up until like 3 in the morning or something, like making final changes to our deck lists. He convinced me to play a couple cards in my deck that were very good for me. So huge shout outs to Will. Shout outs, you know, the whole foundation. Shout outs, of course, myself. Please subscribe to me on Twitch. I'm very poor. Shout outs to Corey as well for. I feel so bad for him. I mean, you can pay it. He's over there. I feel so bad for him. He started X1, and his only loss was Ryan Yu, and then he lost every round day 2. It was so bad. Like, I felt so sad for him. Like, he played so well. Like, he deserves it more than I do. But it is what it is. I'm probably forgetting people, but I'm not checking the notes. Let's just get into the profile. Alright. So for defensives, I again decided to play hand traps over board breakers with 3 Ash, 3 Nib, Veilers, and Imperms. So the logic on this is that the hand traps are better than board breakers, just synergistically with the deck. Because if you have regained up, you know, and you have a bestial in your hand, you're summoning a bestial to, you know, tempo with like a beast or seals, something like that. But then you can potentially draw into one of these cards as for added disruption, which is very, very nice. Didn't really come up for me too much this weekend, but it was great for me in the YCS last weekend, so I still think this theory holds. The other thing too is I think a lot of people have switched over to board breakers, and because of that, I felt like people would be building to beat board breakers rather than hand traps for this weekend, and I think that was largely true. I even had one opponent send me first because they thought that I'd be on all board breakers and break with them, and then I had hand traps, and they did not like that. I think these were really solid. Did not miss not having Outstore Rise Heart. I beat every Kashtera I played against. I think I played against 5 or 6 of them. I didn't have a problem with that matchup. I played 3 Seyfried, of course, 3 Black Metal, and a Red MD. Again, extra normal summons. You need the 1-card starter. These are really good. I like seeing these cards in my hand. Every time I drew one of these normal summons, I felt like I just won the game. 3 Lubellion, 3 Magnemite, 3 Sarnier, and a Druis Worm. So this is a little bit different than my previous profile. I was previously on 2 Sarnier, Baldrake, Druis Worm, and I kind of decided that Baldrake wasn't very good. It was the only bestial that didn't have like a proactive card effect, so I just bumped it up to 3 Sarnier because if you saw my recent video, I show that you can kind of like do anything you want with like Safer Sarnier. Like these 2 cards are just full combo through like a nib, so I just wanted a higher chance to see those. 2 Tracer, Recharger, Absa Router, and for the Spice I play Caliber. So a lot of people have started picking up on this card. I was a late adopter. I didn't play it for the YCS. I didn't miss it at the YCS, but I decided to put it in. This is Will convinced me to put it in. We were going back and forth on whether or not I play 46 or 47 for this event. This is the 47th card in my deck. This card, I didn't use it for what I think a lot of people do, which is where they use Tracer and then they go pop something, make Dissipator, summon back like a Seyfert or something that makes Savage, and you have Dissipator Savage. I didn't do that, but this card's other effect, the one where you tribute it, if you don't know, you can tribute it on field to special a dragon out of your hand. That came up for me several times where I would like use Magnamut effect to try and hit something, and they might like bell me or chain their own Magnamut or something, and it wouldn't get on the field. And I would just put this on the field, get the Magnamut on the field, and then play from there. So that came up for me a few times, and that was really nice. So I was happy I played it. Then for the one-ofs, white, black, Levy. Nothing to say about those. 3 quick launch. 3 Chaos Space, Ravine, Boot Sector, Regain, and Beast. People are starting to cut this. There's a build floating around. So the European build that I think Cormac, Connerzau, and G-Nets all topped with in the EU WCQ, they cut the Beast and they just wanted to go Regain a lot. I think that's what Will and some other good Dragon players were doing as well. I didn't like that because I felt like where Dragons really shines is that this deck has the potential to either grind or play like a lot of burst. And I feel like when you're playing all board breakers and regains, you're really hard committing into playing one way or the other. And I just didn't want to do that. Beast won me so many games. Like, I used this card all day. I could not see myself cutting it, but I'm glad it worked out for people who did cut it. For the extra deck, we played Striker, Pisty, Romulus, Seals as normal. Don't play 2 of these. Dark Charmer. This card is insane. So one thing I'll say is that I didn't play enough matchups where I could reborn Darks to say that effect came up a lot. What came up the most for me was actually making this to crash into a monster and search Levy. And this is what I was doing against a lot of cash tier opponents, is I would like hand trap them and put them into like an awkward game state. And they'd pass on like maybe a Fenrir, maybe a Unicorn or something, maybe like a back row or 2. And I would just go into Dark Charmer and I'd like smack into their monster, search Levianeer, summon it, blow up their whole board, put them on no follow-up, and then I might make a weak board. It might be like Seal's Beast or something, or like Seal's Imperm. But that was more than enough. Very, very good. So this card very strong for that effect alone. Triple Burst, obviously use it to combo with. Unicorn, I don't think I ever summoned it. Access Code, I killed several people with this. This card was crazy. I was just going Access Code combo all the time. Borland, I think I made this once and I lost in my top 64 match. I bricked, and literally the only play I had was make Borland, set Eradicator, and pray that they had all spells. They did not have all spells. They normal summoned low C, and I died. So shout out to Borland. Dissipator. This card's nuts. Like, I make this card all the time. Even like the more I'm playing this deck in the current format, because you know I'm a master duelist. So I don't play with this all the time, but the more I play with this deck in current format, this card is insane. Like, this card is the best card of the deck. Chaos Angel, I made this once. This card sucks. Baron, shout outs to Will for telling me to play Starlight. I summoned it one time. We were not going into time in the round, and I lost the duel. So shout outs for this. This card is also pretty bad. Orlid Savage, nothing to say. And then I played a Tomb this time. So originally in my deck list before I switched to Scarlet, this was a Zeus. I don't think the Zeus would have ever come up, but the idea was you go for the Tomb and then you can potentially attack and just make Zeus, like not use the effect. But then you would have like stuff like Talents in your side deck and you'd be able to steal stuff against Cash Tier and make Zeus with it. When I was talking with Will late at night, we kind of realized that we didn't need to steal the Arise Heart and make a Zeus, because if you steal, half the time they banish themselves with Arise Heart. So if they banish themselves, it's fine, you take the Fenrir. If they don't banish themselves, it's fine, you switch to attack mode and then you kill the Fenrir. Either way, you break the board without having to do anything. So I didn't feel like we needed the Zeus, so we just put it in Scarlet just in case time came up, and never did. And for the side deck, Played 3 Droll and Lockbird. This is again to cover kind of the scary decks in the format, like the Rika deck. They can kind of play through Droll, but it's harder, especially if you have another hand trap. It's also for the Vanadium stuff that's been floating around, so I wanted it for that. It's good in the mirror, but I didn't play any mirrors. 1 Pankratops. This card is nuts in theory. I drew it 1 time, and it was really solid for me. It was against the Vanadium deck. They set the trap card that prevents you from link summoning. So I just summoned this and beat over the link 1 and then popped another card on their field. So it cleared 2 disruptions and allowed me to play. So this card was pretty good. But never drew it again. So it did its job once and never showed up again. 3 Thrust still. This card is crazy in this deck. If you didn't see the last profile, it's played in combination with Daruma Cannon, so that against Kashtira, if they shifter you, you can just set this. You pretty much just wait for their normal summon, book their whole board, and they just pass back to you, you kill them. So Thrust really insane. The Thrust is also really insane to help search these cards, the Dark Rulers that I decided to play. I was talked out of playing these for the YCS, and I decided that I did not want to make that mistake again. This card, I didn't really draw it too much, but in theory this card was crazy. So I like Dark Ruler. Talents and Duster, again, these cards, really crazy, didn't draw them much. The one time, like, I'm saying that about a lot of these cards, but like I feel like when I drew my side deck I lost, and I was just kind of winning the dragon stuff, just pure straight up, because there was one game against the Flunder player I lost against. My hand was all 4 of these cards, and I found a way to lose because of the mistaken rest. So shout outs to those cards. And then the new additions are the Eradicator Epidemic Viruses. I was really afraid of Rinnik. I thankfully did not play any Rinniks, but I just wanted to have something to not lose to Rinnik if I played against it. I only drew this card once. It was my top 64 match where I bricked, and I bricked because I drew Eradicator and Thrust together with Recharger Tracer. So I kind of feel like if those were just Dragon Link cards, I probably won that duel, maybe gone to game 3, maybe it would have been different, but shout out to Eradicator.
Alright, any final words you want to say?
D-Link best deck, follow me on Twitch. Shout out to DB Grinder, of course. I knew I was forgetting a shout out. Like, there had to be a shout out I was forgetting. It's obviously you.
But, alright, yeah, that's all. Again, make sure to go ahead and check them out on YouTube and Twitch and stuff. And the DB Grinder signing off. Peace.